say to people, really? Oh, I can see the feeling behind the poem, which means I can see the poem. My attitude was to read the poem and to say, "Chee, what is this rubbish? Don't be silly." But this is a much better way of doing it. And then I have Ravi Singh and Ravi has turned down cartloads of my stuff. Cartloads. Okay, and just told me, no, it's not working. And then I say, okay, well, the first I walk around the room thinking, what he knows, he prints all rubbish in that, look at all the other books, they're all Ghatiya books, and I could have given it this would be revolutionary. Then 2 days later, I remember Ravi's face, and I know that I like him, and I know that he likes me. So his rejection is without agenda. It's just to save me from myself. So I think, okay, then pack it, forget it. And for my translation, I have Shanta Gokhale, who is kind of like, the god of translation, the god of small translations. So I'm really, really, really been blessed in friendships. And the richness and the quality of the friendships has been a gift to my writing. So I think as you grow older, you come to the conclusion that this single authorship is a myth. You always work in a jund. There's always a collective that's coming with you, people on your shoulder, people on whose shoulders you're standing, friends who are talking to you, voices in your ear. And Philippe Guston says it beautifully. This French painter who went from France to America and so calls it in as well. Philippe Guston says, when I start painting, everyone is in the room with me. Leonardo da Vinci is in the room with me, Michelangelo is there, Klimt is there, Max Ernst is there, the critics are there, the buyers are there, my family is there. One by one, as I continue to paint, they leave the room. Until finally, I am left alone with my painting. And then, I must leave the room. Now you're clapping for Philippe Guston.
Mentioned that it's been translated into Marathi. Any other language that
Bad Padang song like Kankyon Meaning that is Konkani for all lazy people who are not translating my work. What to do? No. See, even translations, translations come when they come. I remember when I was reading with Shanta Gokhale, I was reading this, the translation together. She was reading, I was reading the Marathi, she was checking it. And then there's a point at which, early in the book, M begins to talk about giving birth, where she says, pushing a football through your vagina. Okay? And then she laughs she has the laugh of the horse laugh of a sex worker or a prostitute or something, I say there. And Shanta's typing this in Marathi and saying, first time a mother has been described, he's talking about her vagina in Marathi fiction. So I'm sure, when it goes into Punjabi fiction, then it will, which is the joking. It might be the first time a woman is pushing a football through a vagina in Punjabi fiction. That's giving birth, according to M.
So Jerry, over to the audience, but I'd like to close with a compliment, and no small compliment. I'm saying of you what Ghalib said of himself. कि वैसे तो हैं दुनिया में नॉवलकार बहुत अच्छे, कहते हैं कि जेरी का है अंदाज़े बयां और. So over to the readers to ask Jerry on his style and अंदाज़े बयां.
I think actually that's a better compliment, because Ghalib was chap say it about himself, and you said it about me. I'll put your check in the post.
We'll wait for it.
So, yeah. Tweet one thing. I mean, sometimes it can get improbable, but otherwise I think, did I know it was going to be a big book? Actually I have to say this, I think every one of the books is going to be a big book. It's like having kids, yeah. You can't say now I'm producing this one. Now genius hai, ye genius hai. Everyone is all my babies are Picasso. They are all totally stars. And now this one is, I feel sometimes I have to pat the other books. So they said, "Nee, beta, don't worry." So I get a little attention right now, but your time will also come. I don't know. This sounds stupid, but Sehgal Saab, to answer you, the more stupid I sound, the more imandar I get. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah,
can you hear me? Again, you forgot my name.
No, Rani Balbi.
Well, the most beautiful thing about your book is that pain with a smile. When you talk about it, it's very beautiful. And I have lived with that pain. I can connect with you. And I feel pain is the most beautiful thing. And as you said, out of the wounds, you come out with creativity. Creativity, the source for creativity somewhere is the pain that you have experienced. Because I'm just reminded of one very beautiful song sung by Jagjit Singh, Lata and Jagjit. दर्द से मेरा दामन भर दे या अल्लाह, फिर चाहे दीवाना कर दे या अल्लाह, मैंने तुझसे चांद सितारे कब मांगे, रोशन दिल बेदाग नज़र दे या अल्लाह. So beautiful. I mean, you are laughing, you are in such a beautiful humor way, you are expressing your relationship with your mother and your father. I've yet to read the book. I'm sorry, but all that I've heard about the book, and I'm listening to you. I've been listening to Niru about the book, and I promise you I'll read it and I'll write back to you. And that's the most beautiful thing about the book that I feel. Thank you.
I often feel that when I die, and if I go up and I actually encounter God, I will say, you have some design flaws here. We should be able to produce beauty without pain. So I'm not fetishizing pain in a certain way, because when you are in pain, there is nothing about pain that is beautiful. Then there is just pain, and unfortunately, pain becomes a tunnel, and everything else is excluded. So imagine if you have cancer and you are in Kashmir, in the valley. You still have cancer. You don't see the valley now. You just know the cancer. That pain becomes complete. It becomes the fulfillment of your world. It becomes tunnel vision. And everyone around you develops tunnel vision too. Because if they respond to the beauty outside, it feels like they're doing gaddari. How can I be responding to beauty when someone I love is suffering? So in some ways, blessings upon you, Lord, may you never have pain. May I never have pain. And do I want to give up art because of that? Oh, I have no clue. I have no clue. I cannot imagine a world. I had carpal tunnel syndrome. I couldn't write. I was miserable. Miserable. But I kept asking, just now I thought, so would I say, okay, a world without pain, I want no pain, but then I won't write, then I won't create. No, I don't think so. I don't know. I'm just saying it's a design flaw. If this is the way it has to be, then it's a design flaw. And I think in World 2.0, something had better be done about it. Yeah.
Sir, sir, my question is very simple. Are you a critic also? And for that matter, in other words, is an author and critic are the two sides of the same coin?
First of all, I think, let's not, there are very few critics who have not actually done some writing, some actual creative writing. I can't think of very many. Even the ones who are best known for their criticism have actually dabbled a little in creative writing. So let's that pass. But if you are, to be a creative writer, you must be a critic. Not that you have to write criticism of other people's books. That's sometimes what we have to do to feed our stomachs. Okay, because that's the work. But you have to be able to, see, people talk about a first writer, right? A first reader, right? But you eventually are your first reader. Before I inflict it on somebody else, I must know that it's ready for me. So I often feel sometimes really angry when friends of mine send me a book and it's not, the punctuation has not been done and everything is not just completely ready. And they say, "Arey, don't worry about that, I'll fix that later." I said, no, you don't. Would you send your child out half dressed? No. How can you send out a manuscript that you haven't taken to whatever level of finesse you have, whatever level of fineness, you must take it there and then ask for help. I cannot read a book, I cannot read a manuscript on screen without putting in double inverted commas where there should be double inverted commas, moving the comma after the single. It's my nature. So I can't even read your book if you're doing this to me. So totally, yes. I think every critic, every creative person has to be a critic, but the criticism must best be leveled at the self, and there you have to be stern, and you have to be authoritarian, and you have to be like that third standard teacher who said, 2 finger space from the margin. There's one here.
One last but small question to you is, the cover of the book has always intrigued me. It has all been very black. The cover of the book.
The cover of the book is very
Yeah.
black. When the cover was designed, I just loved it. I loved the cover. I loved everything about the book. I loved the design of the book, the indigo sides, the deck, the rough paper. I was totally taken by the book. But and a friend of mine who's in marketing said calmly, "But Jerry, do black books sell?" And I thought, I have never even thought that there was like a differentiator like that, you know. And I'm looking around here, and there's Cuckold, and there's my book, and there's that one there, the Manzile, which seem to be black. So I'm fairly reassured. I think the darkness was necessary to throw that drawing out, because the drawing is white and this thing. So in that sense, I think if anything, it is a metaphor about the dark quality of the book and the light that M is. In the book, M is the big, brilliant light. So maybe it doesn't work. And you know, one of the lovely things that one of my young friends, and I have lots of kid friends who tell me what's going on in school and all, is that they've been given stories and told, what if you had to design the cover of the book, of a book for this? And I thought that's such a cool idea, to ask someone to think visually as well, because I was never asked to think visually. So whenever people say, what should the cover of the book be like, I say, I don't know. I really don't know. But when this one was completed, I thought, this is the cover of the book. And it never occurred to me to say, is black.
The title is in sounds.
Huh?
They are not words, they are sounds. They are.
Yeah.
That's
And you
very
know, this is the
beautiful.
danger of a working title. This was the working title of the book, M in the Big Hoom. And I just called it M in the Big Hoom because you needed a title. And then suddenly, kehte, M in the Big Hoom, M in the Big Hoom, everyone was calling it M in the Big Hoom. And then I said, okay, we need a title. And they all turned and said, but we have a title, it's M in the Big Hoom. So I thought, okay, one less discussion, then it's M in the Big Hoom. Let it go. And if your publisher says we have a title, because publishers are the ones who have a problem with titles generally. And many reviews have started by saying, you know, this title sounds like a Dr. Seuss book, etc., etc. Okay, whatever. No complaints about that. And it's nice to think you're picking up a Dr. Seuss book and then find that, you know, the cat in the hat is not back. Thank you all very much. Thank you, Chandigarh. I have never seen such a big audience on a Sunday afternoon. I think this is something to do with the fact that in the market next door, there are 10 bookshops. I have never seen one market in any other big city where there are 10 bookshops in a single market. Keep reading, Chandigarh. Chalo, see you.
Jerry's book is out in paperback. If anyone buys it, he's here to sign it for you.
Thank you very much.
Conclude the discussion on the celebrated books of CLF 2013. We would invite Mr. Mitul Dikshit, Chairman, Other Foundation, to please address the audience.
From Sixth Sense, who's put up the whole show, and also all the authors and critics who were here in the past 3 days. Thank you so much.